Inside the teacher's office, the teacher scolds Hyun-sung, telling him that there are boundaries, while planning to avoid his responsibilities as an advisor and putting all the blame on Hyun-sung. But before he could finish his threats, Hyun-sung calmly tells him that there is no need for him to overreact, because it is not like this is the first incident of violence in school. Hearing this left the teacher dumbfounded. Therefore Hyun-sung tells him to do the thing he is good. He can just use that skill of his, burying the case without escalating things, burying this up so he won't get in trouble. With this statement, the teacher reacts violently, which Hyun-sung already calculated, because, just like he expected, this is the reason why he died. He didn't die just because of the harassment alone. The cowardly adults who were busy keeping their nose out played a big part on it too. He clearly remembers how Kim Young-chul, the advisor of the first section, lived as a piece of trash who couldn't even be called a human being. So before Kim Young-chul could slap him again, Hyun-sung advises him to lower his voice, and if he won't, he can't help but tell others that he has been receiving bribes from his parents, especially from Jung Min-ho's parents. Even if it is not that, there are other things he can say. For example, an affair with the English teacher. Now that Hyun-sung sees that his words finally went through his teacher's head, he tells him to better fucking stop, and calls him a piece of shit. In Hyun-sung's previous life, after enduring bullying somehow, he finally came to a decision. He knew it wasn't that good of a solution, but he went to look for the teacher, thinking he needed the backing of an adult. However, the teacher didn't do much, believing Park Min-chul's reason, telling him that they were just joking around a bit, and since he has quite a big build, Hyun-sung must have misunderstood that he was bullying him. And for that reason, they ended up settling the matter just like that, while Hyun-sung was sweating like crazy since he knew what would happen next. After leaving the teacher's office, because of what just Hyun-sung did, they are as pissed as ever, and Park Min-chul orders Hyun-sung to follow them. Soon after, Hyun-sung is getting beat up by the group, while he is cursing at his teacher, since he lets him down, thinking the teacher was just ignorant and believed the bully's lies. However, as he was getting beaten up, he saw his teacher, and since the teacher saw the violence with his own eyes, Hyun-sung believes that the teacher would realize the severity of the situation, and definitely help him. But his assumptions were dead wrong, because the teacher only feigned ignorance of his situation, and turned to the other side. With this, Hyun-sung realized that his teacher, Kim Young-chul, was a coward, and he only later found out that he is also a scumbag who used to accept money from parents, and Jung Min-ho's parents were one of the sources of his income. He had no intention of solving this matter in the first place. After that, he tried his best to solve this matter, even if he had to do it alone. Even knowing that he couldn't win this fight, swinging his fist, he struggled to escape this hell-like reality. And so that day was particularly violent. However, with his retaliation, Minho's parents have the audacity to complain to what happened to their son, making his grandma apologize to them. At the same time, Jung Min-ho happily blames him because of what happened, completely turning the situation against him. Because of the intervention of adults, it was an area where he couldn't do anything without his parents. Even on the school violence committee, he took the punishment alone, and Park Min-chul's gang went through their school life without any problems. Since then, falling into a coma, he only realized later about the fact that he can't exact revenge with mere strength. Even adult intervention must be completely resolved, so that he can take revenge in the true sense of the word. Now we're brought back to the present, with Kim Young-chul's face filled with shock from what Hyun-sung has just said. However, he tried to scoff it off, thinking Hyun-sung was bluffing. Unfortunately for him, Hyun-sung was deadly serious, as he advises him that from now on, when he speaks to him, he should think carefully before he utters any word. And in order to take away all the doubts in Kim Young-chul, Hyun-sung tells him that he knows Kim Young-chul was introduced to Jung Min-ho's parents through a university senior, so he has been taking care of Jung Min-ho even before he entered the school, and as a reward, he received a payment every month. And also, he has been having an affair with the English teacher, a married woman with 3 children, and they often go to Motel M. Seeing Kim Young-chul's face, Hyun-sung knows that Kim Young-chul finally realizes that he wasn't bluffing, so he asks him if he should say more. And since Kim Young-chul is surprised by this, he can't respond, so Hyun-sung continues insulting him, berating Young-chul that he has lived such a dirty life, to the extent that this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. If all of his malpractices are revealed, his life as a teacher will be difficult, so he advises him to don't even think of considering this as nonsense. And if he is going to act like that, even he has to quit this school, he is still going to trample on his life, leaving Kim Young-chul stupefied even to respond. Hyun-sung knows all of this, since by the time he went up to the 3rd year, Kim Young-chul's private affairs were revealed. His wife came to school, slapped him refreshingly, and stamped the divorce papers, and it was later found that Kim Young-chul's family was relatively well off, and it was also rumored that everything that could be called property belonged to his wife. So if that is true, he is certain Kim Young-chul fears his affairs being revealed the most. With all this, Hyun-sung was so sure that there was no way this blackmail won't work. So after Kim Young-chul completely processed what circumstances he was in, he apologized to Hyun-sung and asked him what to do. So without hesitations, Hyun-sung tells him that if he wants to shut him up, He suggests to keep up the attitude he has been living with, but this statement confuses Kim Young-chul. So he asks, to which Hyun-sung clarifies that he should keep living like trash in the future, remain idle onlooker on the students' matter, bury them even though he knows it is wrong, but only the subject will change. From now on, he will do it for him, and prevent this incident from exploding, regardless of the means or methods, and if he follows his instructions until the day he graduates, he will never reveal his secrets. With this, he knows what Hyun-sung means. Still, he is a coward, so he bows his head, telling Hyun-sung that he will try his best. After that sweet interaction, Hyun-sung stepped out of the office and is now walking down the hall, while thinking of his plans, and that Kim Young-chul is only the first card he thought of beforehand, so he must hasten to prepare the next card. However, for now, there is something he must do. Meanwhile, Jung Min-ho is having a tantrum inside his classroom, thinking he is the shit, not realizing he is just the shit of a human being, while threatening Hyun-sung loudly, knowing he wasn't around, acting all tough. And since he knows that Kim Young-chul has been receiving money from his parents, Jung Min-ho assumes that Kim Young-chul would expel Hyun-sung, so he is sure that he won't have to come across Hyun-sung, and he won't have to wrap his head around him anymore, because to be honest with himself, he was scared shitless, but still, to prevent others from doing the same, he acts up and throws a table across the room to threaten everyone because he thinks he is the predator of the school, so he will never allow his status to plummet into the abyss. After all the tough guy act, he sits down, still thinking he is the shit. Therefore, he tries to convince himself that what happened must be a coincidence, so if he meets Hyun-sung again, he is sure to destroy him easily. But before he could fool himself, Hyun-sung opens the door and calls him out, shocking Jung Min-ho immensely, while Hyun-sung tells him that they should finish what they were doing. With Hyun-sung approaching him, Jung Min-ho realizes that he fucked up, and soon after, his face connects to Hyun-sung's fist, completely knocking him to the ground, and as soon as he looks at Hyun-sung again, he only sees a demon approaching him. But before he could react, Hyun-sung's feet were already on his face, and before he could faint, Hyun-sung pulls him closer, to strike him consecutively, preventing him from saying anything. Even asking for help was impossible for him right now, while Hyun-sung is enjoying every moment of it. Now seeing Hyun-sung's reaction, Jung Min-ho realized that Hyun-sung is a lunatic. Receiving multiple strikes to the head, Jung Min-ho was hoping for someone to save him, so after looking everywhere for it, he saw Kim Young-chul looking at them through the window. Therefore, he was convinced that this was going to be over soon, but to his surprise, Kim Young-chul just feigned ignorance of the situation, and then to add to his hopelessness, Hyun-sung advises him not to expect the slightest bit of help, because no one in this school will ever help him. Before this happened, 5 minutes ago, Kim Young-chul was frantically shaking in his chair, at the same time, in deep thought, and because of what Hyun-sung has just said to him, he tries to convince himself that this incident is beyond his abilities. Of course, the school wouldn't want the situation to escalate. Still, if he doesn't punish Hyun-sung properly, the parents of the victims will make a fuss about it. Jung Min-ho's parents, in particular, will never turn a blind eye when it comes to their son, and since they are wealthy people who own several residential complexes and are well-known figures of Daesan, they didn't spare any financial support required by their school. The school renovation was recently finished through their donation, since their subjects specially handled by the principal. There is no helping that their influence must be strong. More than anything, the biggest problem is that he received money from them too. Once they begin to make shit out of this, even someone like him won't be able to do anything. So with all the problems stacking up against him, he panicked, while thinking of a solution. Therefore, he came up with a solution by separating Jung Min-ho from this situation, since Hyun-sung has yet to mess with Jung Min-ho. So if he just convinced his parents, they might sit on the sidelines in this particular case. After all, those brats are only friends of their son. If he finds Hyun-sung and requests him to at least not mess with Jung Min-ho, it won't be the worst situation yet. Finally having a foolproof plan, Kim Young-chul didn't hesitate to run and find Hyun-sung, but as soon as he arrived at their classroom, he realized that it was too late. So when Jung Min-ho looked over at him, he just feigned ignorance, because he knows that it will be over for him once his relationship with the English teacher was revealed. Now in the present, Hyun-sung wasn't done dealing with Jung Min-ho, while he was still enraged, because he remembers them looking down on him, bullying him daily throughout the 3 years of high school. These bastards used to blame him, telling him that he is in this mess, because he was so weak. However, looking at them trembling like this, when he has barely started, fills him with more rage, because now he has no choice but let go of Jung Min-ho, to avoid killing him instantly. After this, he went over to his seat, and looked at Jung Min-ho's state, to look at how idiotic Jung Min-ho was. And he did all that, knowing if he just didn't mess with Jung Min-ho, the rest of the guys could be covered somehow. But if he were going to choose his opponents in his revenge, he wouldn't have punched Park Min-chul in the face the moment he returned. Rather, he would have chosen to live a peaceful life while avoiding those bastards. However, after going through his hell-like life as a vegetative patient, he only dreamed of intense revenge. And this was the result of it. And with this, Hyun-sung knows that there will be an uproar soon. As the principal who said he would make Bright Prospects High School a prestigious one, he would try hard to punish him for this incident. On the contrary, dozens of witnesses saw him. As covering this up, he won't be able to stop it even if he tries to. And if he can't handle even the Bright Prospect High School in the first place, he won't be able to dream of the revenge he's trying to take. So this is only the beginning.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.